So, welcome to our event. The event is organized by AgriVentures, and I will give the floor also to Christina Deligianni. We are co-hosting today the event and have a wonderful topic to discuss. It's about the deep tech. What is deep tech? What are the opportunities for deep tech? And also one really interesting program that we will discuss. So agenda for today, I already mentioned some of the points. We will also mention and discuss the deep tech ecosystem, some data about the deep tech funding, the fundraising opportunities, and the South S3E project, which Christina will present. Afterwards, we will have a Q&A session where we will discuss different questions and topics that we can answer or to discuss. And let's present ourselves. I will give the floor to Christina just to say some words about her.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to our session. Thank you, Mariya, for taking the initiative to present the South3E project. So I'm Christina Deligianni. I'm the Policy and Programs Director at the Institute for Sustainable Development at EPLO, the European Public Law Organization. We belong to an international organization, an intergovernmental one, with observer status to the UN General Assembly. Our institute focuses on all aspects of the Sustainable Development Goals, and one of them is, promoting education, promoting partnerships. And I will be talking about the South3E Horizon-funded project. Later on, the opportunities that you have to apply to our open call and our partners. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Christina. Thank you also that you agreed to have this topic, not only about the project, but also about discussing the deep tech, because here in Southern Europe, we need to discuss such topics because there are opportunities, but some of the startups, researchers, they don't know about them. So about me, my name is Mariya Hristova. I'm founder of AgriVentures. It's an initiative which aims to support startups and researchers to find opportunities for funding. There are lots of opportunities in Europe. However, in Bulgaria and in southern of Europe, we miss a lot of them because of this information that is sometimes fragmented. So we decided to make this initiative like a community and platform. We envisage to open the membership platform in January. And what we will do is to provide information about different funding opportunities and to find way how to form partnerships and to support the education system, the startup ecosystem, and the business ecosystem. So I'm really happy that today we can discuss together with you the topic of deep tech, one of the main focuses of AgriVentures. So I already mentioned what AgriVentures is. It is a community for innovation, and the mission is, as I already said, to use social entrepreneurship to empower startups and researchers to work together and to find common topics for future projects and to find, of course, funding opportunities for their ideas. So let's just frame the topic about deep tech. What is deep tech? We classify deep tech as startups whose technology is based on tangible engineering innovation, or scientific advances and discoveries applied for the first time as a product, often aiming to solve society's biggest issues. Usually here in Bulgaria, and not only in Europe, we think that deep tech is something related to IT or something related to artificial intelligence, but currently Europe is trying to boost deep tech startups compared to the US and China, for example. Europe is a modest with respect to accelerating startups. In this respect, there are lots of initiatives planned this year and the next year for funding of projects which are aim to boost the startup ecosystem in Europe. So in this regard, agri-tech, food tech, health tech startups could also be a deep tech one. This is a huge interest also for the VC funds. What is the comparison between the deep tech startups and the startups? So deep tech startups have longer development times. They have higher capex intensity. It's a huge risk to start deep tech startups. And there is a comparable market risk also. So let's see what is the VC funding. We see that the last year 18 billion in venture capital was invested in deep tech startups in Europe. It's a slowdown compared to the 21 year, but it's still two times more than 2020. So there is an interest in VC funds to find solutions, to find ideas which are deep tech. Deep tech means, again, something which is related to technology, something which is related to science-based technology, or, for example, approved as a service. That does not exist and is scientifically proved. So what we see also, there are lots of startups in Europe who are looking for startups to invest in. The deep tech startups are mentioned in this slide. And of course, in our activities, we will have specific webinars where we will discuss with different investors what are their ideas and their plans for investing in startups. What should one startup know? And what we want to highlight is that a collaboration between startups and researchers is really important for deep tech startups to succeed in the upcoming years. With respect to public funding, we have currently developed our database with different funding opportunities for startups, and one of them is deep tech startups, one of the vertical that we have. Basically, the public funding, I also mentioned the VC funding, but the second option, which usually is not very well known, is the public funding option. There are three levels of funding for the deep tech. One of them is the European level. There we have mainly Horizon Europe with the three pillars. The first one is funding research. The second one is clusters, for example, the food and bioeconomy cluster, and the different missions, mission soil, for example. And the third one is dedicated to startup, the European Innovation Council and the European Institute for Innovation and Technology. On the next phase of the funding is bilateral programs, which are specific programs for researchers and startups. And the third level is the national funding, which depends on the country and the programs that are planned for each specific countries. So we will have different webinars to explain and to provide information about those programs. And I would like to also use the opportunity to ask my colleagues to put the a link where you can just say which topic is interesting for you, in order to plan our future webinars and events. And now I think we ended up with the next task of our event, Christina. So I'm stopping here and would like to ask you to.
Well, great, because what I will be talking about is part of public funding. The European Union has placed a lot of importance on deep tech acceleration. So our program that I will be just sharing is part of is part of what the European Union does in terms of promoting and accelerating deep tech in Europe. So just give me one moment, and I will be sharing my. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. So you can use.
I can use the
presenter.
Yes, exactly. So I'm part of the Southern European Entrepreneurship Engine, which is, or South3E. It's a project funded, a Horizon project funded by the European Union. And we are 4 partners in here: HiCTech from Portugal, Australia from Spain, the Institute for Sustainable Development, that is us, from Greece, and the International Development Ireland, which is from Ireland. So our mission is
sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
Can you share it like a presenter view, because it's not moving?
It's not moving at all? Because, okay, let me just stop sharing and try to reshare it, because can you see it now as in the presenter
yeah,
mode?
perfect.
Okay, so our project is talks about everything that Mariya just elaborated on. So just because European deep tech has a lot of risk, our mission is to reduce that market risk for Southern European tech. And how we do that? We upskill researchers to become more entrepreneurial. We support growth stage startups to become more proficient in business development, and we broker access to investment by facilitating open innovation with the industry. And everything, all the deep tech researchers and startups and ideas and brokerage that we actually facilitate has to be aligned with the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So it's deep tech and sustainability. And by deep tech, again, we use the definition that Mariya has used. It's research-based, science-based innovation. So it is not model-based innovation. It is not a great app that you can use. It has to be grounded in a scientific discovery, in an engineering innovation. So this is the definition that we use. It could be ICT, it could be AI, but it can also be biomed, it could be health tech, it could be the blue economy. It could be anything really which is based again on research. So our program is essentially 3 projects. It's 3 stages. It's the S3E Start, which is basically an incubation program. So if you have a great idea and you want to that to be shaped into a product and eventually into a startup, this is a program that you should be actually applying for. If you are a growth startup, you're established, you're up to TRL6, the acceleration program that you should be applying for is South3E Charge. And if you are an already established startup and you have many products and you want to be matched with great corporates that could actually become your clients, then S3E Reverse is the program that you should be applying on. All three programs are actually open. There's an open call right now, and I will tell you how you can apply. And for this information session, I wanted to focus on the S3E Charge that we are leading as an institute. But of course, we can take questions from the other programs as well. So what the Charge program is, it focuses on the growth stage startups. It's actually a mentoring program. And what a startup would actually look and what they could benefit from is that they can develop a solid investment-ready business plan. They can get access to non-dilutable and dilutable funding. They can be connected to innovation leaders and strong innovator ecosystems, and they can also better understand how they can protect IP, because this is so important when it comes to science-based innovation. So how this program works? So you apply, you get accepted, now what? So it's a 14-week-long program. It provides more than 10 hours of mentoring. Your team will be having their own dedicated mentor so that you can develop an investment-ready business plan. You will be getting opportunities for funding, both national or European or bilateral, just like Mariya explained before, and you can get support for your application. Last year, 2 of our companies got support from the mentors and they applied for the EIC Accelerator and they were successful. You will also be networking with industry leaders, with other innovators, and you can also showcase your startup, because we will be having an open day at the end of the program, of the 14-week program. And how the program is structured, you get 1 week mentoring with your mentor, your dedicated mentor, and 1 week of webinars and master classes. For the last cohort, we were supposed to have only 7 webinars, but we ended up having 12. And the master classes and webinars were on IP protection, on sales and marketing, carbon emissions reduction, ESG, sustainability. So it was. It's also a very much flexible program. So if we see that there's a need or there's an opportunity to host a speaker that will be, valuable to what you need, we can make that happen. So what is important to mention is that at the end of the 14 weeks, you will have your investment-ready business plan. You can also have your pitch deck ready that could be, adjusted for different audiences, for different investors. You will be having your dedicated mentor, and you will be pitching your project in the open day to companies, investors, corporate ventures. It is important to say that this is a free program. So once you're accepted, this is free. We do not take any equity, so it's equity free. You only have to commit to actually participating in the program and pitching at the end of it. So it's a free program. I have to tell you this because most accelerators are not. And the uniqueness. Why should you apply to our program? Well, first of all, it's custom-made mentoring. You get your mentor, and everything is customized. It's tailor-made according to the needs of the startup. For instance, last year we had one startup that they already had an investment-ready business plan. So that was that was all set. So what they did with their mentor, they went through their sales and marketing, they revamped their website, they sat down and worked on funding opportunities, they applied to EU projects, they started pitching to investors. So even if you might have like a pitch deck that is ready, or you might feel that your team is extra proficient in most of the accelerator aspects, you can still benefit because it is tailor-made. And as I said, you will be getting access to funding. So our last cohort finished in July, and they still get emails from us, for funding opportunities, for pitching competitions, for projects that they should be applying for. So our idea and our mission, excuse me, sorry, and our idea and our mission is actually to create a community of getting alerts, of working with each other, because some of the companies in the last cohort also started working with each other because they had complementary products and services. So think of it as a community that you are accepted in, you're selected to be part of, and you can create synergies and collaborations. So again, if you're a growth startup with a deep tech product, service, concept node, process, science-based, you can apply to us. Your deep tech solution and your services should be aligned to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And you should be at around TRL 6 to 7. You must be established in Bulgaria or in another country from the south of Europe, because what happens is our program accepts companies if they're established in Turkey, in Greece, in Albania, Serbia, Romania, Italy, Spain, Portugal. It's the 17 Southern European countries. It doesn't have to be an EU member state. So if you have a company in another Southern European country, do apply. This is a testimonial from one of the companies last year who got a lot of funding after the end of it, and they really loved our workshops and webinars. We also focused last year a lot on ESG, because ESG compliance is a must now for startups and corporations. So and the mentor that they had was so wonderful. She was a person with she was the former communications and corporate affairs director of Ericsson Hellas. So she gave them lots of tips, and it was a really fun experience for them, a win-win situation. So how the application process is, the open call is open. You can apply till December 15th. Please do not leave that to be last minute. You will have to, answer a bit of questions, to upload a pitch deck. So please, do take your time, but try to, to apply before December 15th. The winners will be announced beginning of January, mid-January, and the program will start January 18th till April 26th. The evaluation process is two-part. First of all, we will be looking through the projects, us and our partners, to see if the eligibility criteria are there, and then the application will be assessed by a board of peer reviewers that will be selecting the teams for an interview as well if things are unclear. And how you can apply. The application is on our website. Our website is South3E.eu, and I will be sharing that later on the chat. and we use a platform, the F6S platform, so that everything is transparent. We have the guidelines for applications so that you can look into it, you can see the eligibility criteria, and we're waiting for you to be part of our community. Do get in touch with us. This is an email you can use, the website. We are active on LinkedIn, on Twitter as well. On LinkedIn, you can find lots of resources, lots of videos and testimonials from our last cohort, both for all projects, not only the Charge one. And that's it pretty much. I will stop sharing, and I think we can take questions.
Yeah, thank you, Christina. Wonderful program. So a lot of new, how to say, topics, deep tech, ESG. People sometimes are getting confused. What is this? How can I use this opportunity? So thank you very much for presenting the program. And now we open it for questions.
And if you have a question for the other projects as well, for the S3E Start, our partner who is leading that, Claudia from HiCTech, is also with us, so she can take questions. And I will be also, I can answer, questions about all those three, the incubator and the accelerator.
Yeah, and what you said the benefits. However, it's interesting for me. Is there opportunity for researchers? Could they also apply?
Okay. So if you go to our platform, our website, which I just posted on the chat, you will see three projects. So the incubator is the S3E Start, which is for research teams and technology transfer officers. So if you are a researcher or a research team and you have an idea or you have some kind of research, but you don't really know how this could be a project or a product, you can apply to that program. It's an incubation program, and our partners from Portugal are they have more than 20 years experience in that and can help you do that. It's an 18-week-long program. You get mentorship, you get a lot of hands-on experience, but it's also for technology transfer officers. So if you are a technology transfer officer in a university, in an academic situation, in a lab, or in an NGO, this is great because you will be trained to train the trainers. So you will be trained to train other people in your technology transfer office, but it will also give you the skills to help researchers. And because sometimes technology transfer officers are IP lawyers and just focus on IP, and they don't really understand the business side of things. So it will be a very useful experience. So if you're a researcher, please apply for the START project.
Okay, perfect. So the programs are applicable not only for startups, but also for researchers and for technology transfer officers. If I have two questions, if we don't have such in the chat, probably our guests today are shy, but I always, when I communicate with startups, some of them already decided to think about the deep tech. So, for example, we have one startup here in Bulgaria. The team decided it's a hardware for irrigation. Mm-hmm. And so they decided to work on improvement of their technology through image recognition of the plants. So for this, they are applying for funding and also collaborating with different scientists. So this is an example how you have a startup which is mainly hardware focused, and then you decide to upgrade your startup to a deep tech. This could be also applicable for food companies, for food startups. They, for example, can work on new recipe which is related to health benefits. This also could be deep tech focused because it requires the work of scientists and different phases of lab testing. So all of this could be done through, for example, through mentorship and support from the S3 program, and future funding about this upgrade. These are the questions that I usually receive. Okay, I'm a startup, I have innovative idea, but is it deep tech? What should I put to be deep tech? So sometimes it's difficult to differentiate what is startup and what is deep tech and what is not.
So this is a great question, and this is a question I have 3 startups, and these are questions that I often ask myself about, the nature of the work we do. So I would say if your startup has a patent or wants to apply for a patent, yes, this is deep tech. If your startup has an algorithm that you cannot really have a patent on an algorithm, but you can have maybe a timestamp, yes, this is deep tech. So deep tech is very loosely defined in the European ecosystem. So if you do science, if you do R&D, if you do if you are working towards a patent because what you have is a trade secret, yes, this is deep tech. So do apply for the project, for the S3 the South3E Accelerator project, because we can help you better protect what you do, understand what you do. So I will give you an idea. Last year we visited with our consortium one startup in Greece. He's doing algae growth on land in a lab for carbon sequestration. So he thought of himself as being, a green tech company. Of course, there's a lot of science behind what he does, but he's also a blue economy tech company. So there's a lot of, you can name your company, your startup, your idea in different, verticals. So for him, it is climate tech, it's blue tech, it's green tech, it's also deep tech. So you have to think of, of the labels you give to your startup and how you market yourself in the market and towards investors. This is important, and it's also important for the funding that you want to attract. So not only when it comes to VCs, so if your work is really aligned with the sustainable development goals and more than one, you could be applying for you could be pitching to impact investors, So that's also something more sustainable, sustainability focused investments. Or you could be applying to different horizon projects in different verticals. So it could be not only, the mission, the horizon mission on soil, but if it's an agriculture company, but it could be something different as well. It could be, I don't know, mission, ocean and waters, because waters means, rivers and all that. If you're doing, work close to a river, just saying an example. So there are many ways of, looking at things, looking at funding, and looking at leveraging the opportunities that are there to fund your research, to fund your startup, because there are opportunities. It's just that we're not very open to risking and open to writing proposals.
Also, what is here in Bulgaria, I will say that usually the business thinks that Horizon Europe is only for science, only for research. I don't know how it is in other member states in the southern of Europe, but all of the calls in the first and the second pillar of Horizon, the missions, the clusters, and also the research could be could be applied, could be proposed by startups, the business, and the researchers. They are all eligible to participate. So this is something which is not very clear here. I don't know why, probably we'll see.
Well, yeah, I mean, Horizon Europe or other EU-funded projects, if you're a startup, can accelerate, if you participate as part of a consortium, can actually provide a solution to two problems that you might face as a startup. First of all, funding, how do I pay, my team members? How do I pay my personnel? So, through Horizon or other EU-funded projects, you can pay your team members. You can get yourself a salary because sometimes, especially startup founders do not get a salary. So this is an easy way to cover costs. And the other part is, okay, you're a startup, a research-based startup, deep tech startup. You probably have a higher, higher expenses when it comes to research and innovation. So you're doing a lot of work in your lab, you're doing a lot of work, testing, or giving a lot of money to your patent lawyer. So through an EU-funded project, you can cover the cost of anything related to your research. So it could be a pilot project that is funded through your Horizon project that is actually, paying for, the materials, for your staff, for transportation of materials that you might have, and you can also advance your research. So this is important, and it doesn't have to be like a big sum of money. It could be, for startups, especially in our region, in the south of Europe, like to 20 or 30,000 euros could make or break a company. So it could be, a sum of money that you need, funding that you need to cover your operational costs.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to check, we don't have questions, probably.
Everyone is shy. So can I ask a question? Can I ask, let's see, who is a researcher here and who is a startup? If you can, take the floor, present yourselves, tell us a little bit of, your background.
I see Ina is here. Yeah, Ina, hi.
Hello.
The presentation. We just wanted to make it like a discussion because we're tired of those events where we just have to present something and say goodbye. So we decided to make it like a discussion and just to have, conversation.
So Ina, what's your background?
Hello. Nice to meet you. I have a startup together with my sister, a small family company, and we do a functional food from edible roses. And what we emphasize on is the newly discovered health benefits of the roses. Some of them are newly discovered, some of them are quite well known for centuries. But the new what we are doing, the innovations what we are doing is creating functional food products and talking about the roses as a medical herb. Can you hear me?
Yes. Wow, amazing.
Okay, and I'm very curious to learn about opportunities and deep tech. And as Mariya mentioned, there are so many newly defined positioning of doing business, creating, inventing. So all the different terms are a bit confusing. How do you call yourself? In which section you are? So this is very helpful, and from what I get, we can can be classified in this term deep tech, because what we do is based on scientific researches of health benefits of a specific herb that we use in our products. And we develop new products for improving the well-being of people.
So yes, you are eligible to apply to, to charge to our acceleration program. In our last cohort, we had a company that is creating seafood from potato. So it's plant-based seafood, and it's a company that is both in the deep tech but also in the blue economy sector. It's called Bluana Foods. It's from Romania, and they have been awarded so many prizes from the European Union. So yes, what you do is eligible for our program, and well done. I mean, when I was younger, we would fight with my sister for those rose oil perfume bottles from Bulgaria. So I see that you took, that tradition a bit further, and well done. And functional food and functional medicine are, gaining ground, especially in the US. So there is definitely a market. So do apply for a program, because you will be getting, your business plan ready, your pitch deck, and you will also be looking at other opportunities for funding. We do not give funds. We're not a cascading funds program, but there are so many other opportunities through our program that you will be getting funding.
And the other thing that I want to clear as well is that since the beginning, it is more than 10 years already. So is it eligible as well?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as you're like TRL 6 or 7. So there is a little bit of, you do have a product, you do have clients, but you still need, a push to get out there. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we do have we do partners with scientific researchers, with universities, and we do want to make clinical trials and to find the financing about the clinical trials and all of that as well.
So yes, this is great. This is music to my ears. Do apply for S3E Charge. This is the program that you should be applying for. And yes, you will be. We will also try to make connections with laboratories or other suitable entities for you to pursue extra research.
And is the program entirely online?
Yes, it is online. It is in English, and what we try to do is we try to match you with a mentor that doesn't come from Bulgaria. So we try to have mentors and mentees from different countries and different backgrounds, different research backgrounds as well. And I think this is important, first of all, because this is a South European project, so matching you with a person who has a different background, comes from a different country, is really important. You get to speak English and you get to write in English, because at the end of the day you will be presenting in a global market to international investors. But also having a different academic and scientific background is important, because you will not be talking about the science, but you will be talking about the process to do business development and to get investment ready. Otherwise, you might be, talking about, roses and about, the science behind that and the science behind functional foods. You know the science. What you need is a person who will help you try to get investments.
Okay.
You should be able to explain and elaborate on your technology and on your science to an audience who knows nothing about roses, knows nothing about the medicinal powers of plants, or who knows nothing about what you do in your everyday operations.
And
Probably.
I think I missed
my
you.
last question is, do you have a date and when it will be?
Do we have a date, an application date? The application date is
No,
December.
no. Do you know the?
Probably we lost her.
Yes, we
I
lost.
couldn't get the question. But
Yes,
back.
neither did I, but hopefully she will be back.
Yeah, it was something about date, but I don't know.
Ina, we didn't catch the last question. Could you please repeat that?
Okay. The final of the project, you said, is a presentation.
Mm-hmm. So yes.
And do you know when? Do you have a date for scheduled for that final presentation, and where?
So we have at the end of the program, we have an open day, and it's usually the last week of April. I don't have a specific date. Everything will be online because we will be having hopefully different startups from different countries from the south of Europe. The only way to make it, feasible and sustainable is having that online. So you will be pitching online, and you will be pitching to an audience of investors, of people from the ecosystem, from other mentors, other programs. So it will be online and on a date at the end of April. We will try not to have it on close to major religious or other holidays. I know that the Greek and Bulgarian Easter is beginning of May. So we'll be trying to do that before the Holy Week, before the holidays. You're welcome.
Ina, happy to hear your questions. Do we have some more questions? If not, I have just one thing to ask you, Christina, just to make a summary of 3 of the programs for like what are the benefits to have to join and to apply for them.
Okay, so there are 3 programs. Okay, so the START program, which is basically our incubator for researchers, research teams, and technology transfer officers. So if you're a researcher or a part of a research team, the benefit is that you'll be getting mentoring and a lot of hands-on experience on how to go from an idea that you might have to an actual product, service, or process. And if you are a technology transfer officer, you will be getting the skills to help your researchers, but also the skills to train other people in the technology transfer office on the side of business and on the side of ideation, how you get from an idea to a product. For the second project, our Accelerator project, the Charge program, if you're a growth startup, you can apply to that. And what we can do is take your startup and make it investment ready. So you can be able to present to investors through a pitch deck, through your business plan, but we can also connect you with the ecosystem, the European and the global ecosystem, to VCs, to other funding opportunities at the national level, at the European level, or at the global level. And if you're, a scale-up startup, a startup that has enough many clients, a lot of products, we can actually match make you with a big corporate, so you can be solving challenges that the big corporates have, or you can actually sell your products and services to big corporates. Like I can name a few from Greece, and I'm sure you know them, like Kliman, that manufactures elevators, or Alumil, that is the materials and manufacturing company, one of the biggest in the Balkans. So these are the benefits. Everything is, equity free. Everything is free, and your only commitment is to participate and actively attend the program.
Perfect. It sounds really interesting. I'm sure for all of the participants it is. If they are shy, they can of course put questions now in the chat or contact us. We of course will provide all of the information about the program, about different also opportunities. And I hope that we again will have events where we'll discuss such opportunities and success stories. And I'm checking if we have questions. So thank you very much, Christina.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's have one more question for like closing the event. Do you remember the field of work of the startup which was successful and last year had a funding from EAC? Do you remember?
Yes, there are two of them. One is in biomed. They do medical devices for asthma, Respibid, and the other one is in the smart buildings operation. So what they do is they have sensors and they have technologies for smart buildings to be able to reduce their costs, their operational costs, and also achieve net zero.
Yeah.
But all of our startups got funding. It's not just the EIC Accelerator, but they got funding from other accelerators. So there is another accelerator with funds that gives out funding. It's called Ventures Thrive, and two of our startups are part of it after they finished our program. So Ventures Thrive has 12 startups. Two of them are our startups finalists. So we're very proud of that. Others have participated in other accelerators like the Bayer Accelerator. So there's a lot of and they have also applied to many EU projects. So they got funding from different ones, and there's another one. It's called Distinct. They make a sort of invisible ink for notes or documents, and they're now participating in a big accelerator in Silicon Valley. And they also got investment from VCs.
Yeah, sounds really interesting. I'm sure. Yeah.
So please do check them out. If you go to our LinkedIn page on the South3E project, you will find all the startups and the research teams, and you can see their trajectory, what they do, the journey, and how they're becoming bigger and bigger. Like the Bluana Foods, the one I told you about, the plant-based fish product, salmon. They have won and be part of the EIT Food Accelerator. There's another one which is called Taste Bites, Biz Bites, and what they do is they have a special way of measuring taste. When you're a company that wants to launch food products in the market, you can hire them to do tastings and measurements. So I think they got some funding from Nestle, or they are working with Nestle. So there's a lot of exciting projects that and there's so many different kinds of funding that you can get. So it could be, having a client is a great way of, having funding. So yeah. Please have a look at our LinkedIn page.
Yeah, you're really active, and I'm really happy about it. I also, in our page, we have published information about S3E program, their web page, and the LinkedIn profile, so you can click on them and to understand more about the program and the different initiatives and success stories that you have. So really thankful to you, Christina, and the team of S3E.
Thank you so much. And Alexandra from our team has posted information, has posted our LinkedIn page. So if you go to the chat, you can see our newsletter, you can see our Twitter, you can see the LinkedIn page. Please follow us, and go and see the startups from our last cohort, because they might be similar to what you do. So Ina, do check out Bluana Foods and see they're doing fantastic things, and check out the startups, but also the research teams and how they are all doing, and reach out to us if you have questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Christina.
Thank you.
Have a great night, and keep in touch with the great initiatives that we will have, I hope. And yeah, success. I'm sure.
Success stories.
Yeah, success stories, of course. Many startups and researchers which have applied to your program, and future initiatives, of course. So yeah, to wrap up, go apply for this opportunity. I'm sure it will be really useful. Sometimes the funding is not enough. Sometimes we need mentorship. Sometimes we need someone who is really experienced to show us the way how quicker we can go to the market, to find new clients, to find new markets. So this type of support is really important. Of course, the funding is important, and we will provide information about different opportunities on our page, so please follow us. And thank you very much again for your time. I hope this webinar is useful for you, and of course the information about the Deep Tech funding and the Deep Tech program of S3E. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mariya, for organizing this. Thank you. Ciao, ciao, everyone.
Ciao, ciao.